One of the biggest mistakes that I see new charter captains making all the time is that they aren't treating it like a business, and they're treating it like a charity or something, and it's like it's this weird thing that happens, and I'll explain a little bit more of what I mean. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if I told you that you had to start a steel business, let's just say, well, you're probably not that passionate about steel. So you'd be like, all right, well, I'm not all obsessed about the, scientific materials of steel and stuff. Like, I'm not going to get all obsessive over it. So, like, well, I guess it's just a business. And you treat it more like a business. Whereas with fishing guides, they're like naturally, of course, obsessed about fishing, and they're all like focused on the fishing. And then they just like neglect the fact that they're in it as a business. Like, that's the reason that they started it. So like, they just aren't optimizing for profit and for, like, they never raise their price for a bunch of years and stuff, and they don't set a good foundation because it's all just kind of based and built off the fact of like, hey, I like fishing, come fishing with me. And like, sure, that's fine to like think that in the beginning, but what happens is a lot of times like they just end up shooting themselves in the foot long term, because they're building things on a weak foundation that it's like really hard to go back on. And I'll give you an example of one of the mistakes that I made early on when I was a new captain. Is instead of treating it like a business, when I was just kind of like, oh, I just want to take a bunch of people fishing, I started like catering to the wrong crowd, I guess, per se, because I just wanted to get as many people out on the boat as humanly possible. So I started doing discounts, I started doing whatever I had to do to get them out on the boat. And what happened was it started training them. And it started training them to set the expectation that I was always going to give a discount, and basically set the expectation that my prices were negotiable. And it took quite a while to actually kind of like get out of that one, because it just taught people bad habits. Whereas like if I was just looking at through, like, again, back to the steel business industry, if I was just in the steel business, I wouldn't be like, man, I want to get as many people to buy my steel as possible, so I'm just going to give massive discounts on it because I just want people to see how awesome my steel is. Like, unless that's a business strategy to try to get more referrals at full price and stuff, like if you're making an educated decision like that, then that's fine. But again, it comes back to when there's passion involved and emotion involved, like there is for a lot of fishing guides because of the nature of them, it becomes really hard to be clear and rational about business decisions. And it's hard to like actually have a line between the two. They kind of just end up like blending, and it creates this weird thing. So yeah, anyways, that's my main lessons that I've learned and that I've seen other people do and make mistakes. So if that's you, don't let it be you.